scan. I said, oh yeah, what's this all about? So anyhow, okay, fine. I get up, I boot up there, and they had everything mixed up. They had my son was scheduled for that, so I was relieved for that. And then today I decided to turn 71, which is my birthday. Which, who cares? I don't. Anyhow, yeah, it's been an interesting week. Put it that way.
I thought it was yesterday.
It's 14th. Today's Wednesday.
Hello.
Yeah, not right. Today's the 14th, isn't it? Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, 71 today. Oh well, and kicking.
All right. Well, congratulations, my friend. One more time around the sun. So very good. What'd you do?
Uh, well, for one, I had got to the cancer clinic to see the specialist, and he cleared me there. No cancer. We saw we had it back, but we didn't, so that's good. Other than that, just taking it easy. Not doing much today at all. Just chilling out.
Well, there you go. There you go. You could pick a different day to party. Sometimes you just want to chill out. So very good then. All right. Well, I don't know when we're going to get over this little cold snap. I call it a cold snap. We should be a few degrees warmer than what it's been. Right now, it's showing 20.6 degrees outside the CJZ studio. And I think the normal daytime high is at around 23, 24. So we're a little bit behind with that. But I'm sure we're going to get a nice blast of hot summer coming up real soon. And we'll be complaining about how hot it is. That's always the way. All right, Rick, you're going to stick around for a bit. We're going to continue on down the list and say hello to George.
Yeah, but the jet stream is below, so we gotta wait for that jet stream to get up higher. They figured out a couple of weeks we're gonna have this kind of weather. I don't know. I see people walking around with winter coats on. Like, that's not that cold, but still, what the heck?
Yeah, and then you got people in shorts.
Yeah. Well, I'm not shorts now. But anyhow, okay. I'll let you get back to GBD there. And oh, George, haven't heard you for a while. I figured you'd be up at the trailer. We'll talk to you later, bud. Okay, VA3 XJ, VA3 extra, I should say. We'll take a standby and continue their check.
All right, very good then. So let's bring in George. Haven't heard you in a while either. VE3GBD, come on in.
Just gonna say hello, and everything's going good here. Got the other radio going on. Kevin's just going crazy, jacking. Other than that, not much to report there, Chuck. But I thought I'd key up because I'm home. I can't get anything up at the trailer, so and I try. But I can't get anything at the trailer. I'm home, so I thought, no, I'm gonna key up. And I got family here. They're getting ready to leave, and it's like, holy moly. So yeah. Other than that, no, not much to report. But I don't know if I'll be around for a second round because I got a lot of the garbage to put out. But I'll be listening.
All right, George. Well, thanks for taking the time out and checking in with us. I do appreciate it. Was wondering how things were going there. One last thing before you go. What did you put up a dual band antenna up at the trailer?
Nope, not yet. No, I screwed my back up. My back is completely foobar. So um, no, but I plan on it So we'll see what happens. Because I got to get up on my roof of the garage or the trailer and the floor room. I got to clean the gutters. Yeah, it's going to be, yeah. But I was getting really sharp pains in my back, so I kind of stopped doing what I was doing.
All right, George. Well, sorry to hear that. As a fellow back pain sufferer, I know what you mean. But yeah, it doesn't take much to throw an antenna on a pole and just, put it up. You can tie it to other trees even if you like, if it's not that steady. But yeah, you won't hear much just on your rubber ducky. I'll guarantee you that. Try getting just a little X30 or X50. Throw that up there, or even a magnet mount on top of the trailer on a cookie sheet or something. Give it a shot, anyways. That's not too hard. But yeah, if you don't try, you're not going to get out. So at the trailer. But anyways, George, thanks for checking in. Take care of your family and your garbage, and we'll give you a shout later. But if you're there, fine. If not, we'll talk to you another time. Thanks again, George.
Chuck, like I said, I'll be listening. I may not key up, but you never know. Because I'm just waiting for, my wife's kids to pull over the driveway so I get the garbage out.
All right, George. Well, whatever you're using tonight is giving me full bars over here at my station. So you're doing a great job over here, George. Thanks again. And yeah, I don't know how much garbage we have. We'll have to find out after the net. That's when the fun starts, George. Tonight I didn't put it out early. So now that summer's here, I can get garbage ready. But today I didn't. All right, George. We'll talk to you later. Anything else, buddy?
Nope, not right now, but I will be listening.
All right, very good. Now let's talk to someone we can finally hear on 2 meters. VE3 Fox Juliet Juliet. Flynn, come on in. Did you figure out what was going on?
Well, I certainly hope so. You acknowledged me, so yeah, here I am. How do I sound?
Oh, you sound great. Full quieting, no slight hiss, but that's normal. S7 over here at the Center Mall, and yeah, good job. What are you using for just a rubber ducky, or do you have your handy talkie connected to a bigger antenna?
Well, I acquired a HF rig that has 2 meters, and I'm going after the 440 portion for it. But it's a Yaesu FT767GX, and I'm running a tri-bander antenna. It's only probably maybe 10 feet off the ground.
Ah, there you go. There you go. Well, that's a start. It's a lot better than a rubber ducky. There's nothing wrong with them. Some of them, they get out great as long as there's no blockage in between. But um, the dual tri-band, is it a tri-band antenna?
It's a dual band. Dual band. Yeah, it's a homemade jobby. So acquired it from somebody, and yeah, they said give it a shot and see how it works. Well, it's working.
Yeah. I don't know who can't hear you, but if stations that can't hear others, just tune into YouTube and put in VA3CJZ, and you'll be able to follow us along live. Tonight we're under the title AREG Week 1552. 1,552. All right. So what else is new and exciting there, Flynn?
Just working and just doing what I can, and slowly acquiring my my capabilities again and starting to enjoy it more and more.
Very good. Well, welcome back let's say. Welcome back, Mr. Cotter. Okay, Flynn, we'll get back to you in a little bit. Are you taking off? Are you going to stick around? What?
I should be here, so I'll be doing things around down here on the bench. But yeah, I'll be here listening. But give me a holler, and if I'm right by the mic, I'll definitely key up.
Okay, very good. So we'll clear with VE3FJJ and see who else is out there would like to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3CJZ. My name is Chuck, and I'm in East Hamilton. Any new check-ins, please come now.
I couldn't hear Flynn, VE3GBD, on my POS Bowfang.
VA3OYL.
Okay, I heard George and a double, and then I heard VA3OYL. George, first of all, Flynn is on a homemade antenna. I'm not exactly sure of his location, but he's only an S7 to me, so it's no wonder you're having trouble picking him up there. All right, so was there anyone else with VA3OYL that doubled there at the beginning? Please come now.
VE3KMQ.
Oh, there we go. Okay, well, that's who I heard then. Very good, Mike. You got covered up by a local here, but you still do a great job here. So let's go with VE3KMQ.
Yeah, VA3CJZ, VE3KMQ. Good evening, Chuck, and everybody else on the net this evening. I hope everybody's doing well. For me, I got a bit of a project going, that being the restoration of an old antique radio. Let's see, it's a 1936 RCA, what they call a tombstone, because it's shaped like a tombstone, I guess. And acquired it a couple weeks ago, plugged it in, it worked for a couple of minutes, and then guess what? Blew the electrolytic capacitor out of it. Started smoking so quickly, powered down, and proceeded to troubleshoot and repair. Of course, replace the electrolytic with some more modern ones, and continuing on, but it is working now.
Oh, yes, those capacitors. Oftentimes, they tell people, if a radio's been sitting for a while, it would be wise to replace those before firing it up. But hey, you had to find out, right? So listen, I heard you on the weekend, I believe, giving out points for the VHF contest. Were you logging or just giving out points? I don't remember.
No, I wasn't really logging, just giving out some points there, Chuck. And always happy to do that. It's made a few contacts. So had a little bit of fun. And yeah, always great to help out.
Oh, that's awesome. So thank you for all your contacts you gave us there this past weekend, as well as everyone else. And what was I going to say? Yeah, next couple of weeks are going to be exciting. We've got field day next weekend, I believe. Yeah, not this weekend, next weekend. And then after that, it's Canada Day long weekend. There's going to be a big park activation, I guess, the Great Canadian Trail. Everybody's going to try and get on there that day, as well as the Canada Day contest. So should be interesting. Next couple of weeks should be interesting.
Yeah, you're right. A lot going on this time of the year, and looking forward to it. Also, I guess the Treasures in the Trunk activity this weekend in Grimsby. I was there last year, first time selling, and did okay. This year, just buying, I guess, or looking is probably the better description, not really buying. But enjoyed it last year, and I'm sure this year will be good as well.
Yeah, very good. I haven't checked the weather forecast, but I don't think I've heard anything drastic there. So yeah, maybe we'll do a visit. Not 100% sure yet, but I really don't have cash to spend, so that's an issue. But anyways, All right, so I'll say thanks, Mike. I appreciate your check-in. You enjoy the rest of the week, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, very good, Chuck. Always good talking to you, and you take care. Have a great week upcoming. VA3CJZ, VE3KMQ73.
Okay, 7-3, Mike. So we'll clear with VE3KMQ. And let's go to the West End and say hello to Victor Alpha 3, Oscar Yankee Lima. I almost said obey your leader, Debbie. Come on in.
Oh, you should have. VA3OYL. Hello to everyone on net. I'm currently in bed. I've been in bed since Monday. I threw my back out Monday morning, putting a rain jacket on the dog.
Another one.
And now I can barely get out of bed. So I've been spending the time getting my logs all up to date and figuring out how to do digital on my 991 here, and just puttering around on with the radios.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry to hear that. You're another customer of the broken back community. Rick AXJ there was just telling us about his back as well, and I finally got a hold of the pain clinic that deals with my my back issues, and they had forgotten about booking me in for my regular 6-month appointment. So I got that all straightened out, and now I got to wait till the end of August. So that means going through all summer being very, very careful with my back. But hey, that's the way it is. So, yeah, okay. And so the 991A, yeah, I've only seen pictures of it and videos. So it looks like an interesting radio. How do you like it so far?
Oh, I love it. It's what I'm talking on right now, and I haven't done any digital yet. I'm just getting it all set up. I also got a little component called a little DigiRig to be able to do digital on my 857, and so I'm going to play with that. I'm waiting for the chords to come, so that should be fun.
Yeah, yeah, I what I do is I got a USB sound card, and then I get my sound from the radio actually goes through the sound card and into the laptop here. So that's always nice. By the way, Richard, North End Richard says hi, Deb. He's got to stay indoors tonight, so we won't hear him on the radio, but he'll be letting his fingers do the talking on the YouTube streams there. So just thought I'd let you know that he said hello.
Oh, okay. Hello, Richard. And Flynn, I could hear very well. He was only giving me I think a S3, but he was nice and clear, and it was nice to hear him for a change.
Oh, okay. Very good. Very good. So you going to stick around with us tonight, or are you going to take off, Deb?
I think I'll stick around. You kind of have a captive audience tonight with me.
Okay, very good, very good. Then, well, if we can keep one in the group, that's great. We don't have Mac tonight. VA3IMW is U.S. on the U.S. side in Ohio. He's a couple of weeks late at the Dayton Hamfest. There, he's in Dayton. So yeah, he's work related stuff down there till the end of the week. So who else? Garnett is in the hospital. So please send your positive thoughts out to Garnett. He's got COVID. He's at the general, as well as all the other ailments that is giving him trouble at the moment. So we wish him a speedy recovery. But having been diagnosed and tested at the hospital for COVID, I imagine he'll be there at least a week. That's what I'm guessing.
Oh dear. Well, I wish him a speedy recovery. And is Mac gonna do any POTA?
I don't know. If he said he was bringing any radio gear with him this time. I don't know how. This is maybe it's a big financial thing. So I don't know how much playtime he's going to have, if any. I think they ended up parking their cars somewhere and picking up a rental car. So yeah, that might be an issue. So I'm not sure, Debbie. In all fairness, there, I can't say.
Oh well, lots of POTA to do around here. Okay, I'll let you carry on, and I'll be listening along. VA3 OIL.
All right, Deb. Thank you very much. And with that, let's see if anyone else is out there that would like to check in with us on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group Net, AREG. We also have a Facebook page. Just type in A-REG, and a screen will come up with a radio with a green face on it, and that's our group. It'll say AREG 146430, an amateur radio group. So you can join us there, and it only asks you if you've got your ticket, I think, and one more question, and that's it. Then we bring you in. But it is a closed group, and so you need an administrator to let you in. So by all means, join us there. As well as tonight, we're on YouTube Live. Just put in VA3CJZ in the YouTube search box. But for now, let's see if we have any check-ins for the AREG Net. Please come now.
V3KKP. And VA3NE, hopefully no one steps on me.
Yeah, right.
Okay. VE3KKP was first out of the gate, and then VA3 November Echo. Kevin, two Kevins. Look at that. All right, let's go with the first one, VE3KKP. Kevin, come on in.
The bookends have arrived. Good evening, Chuck and everyone on that, and hello, Deb. A wave to you. Just got here actually. George reminded us that it was Wednesday night. Me and Kevin were just chit-chatting away on Zoe and kind of forgot all about it. So thank you, George, for the reminder. Nice radio, Deb. I just caught the tail end of your time here. So yeah, nice radio. Fantastic radio, actually. Good to hear you on there. And Chuck, just a quick update. I was kind of surprised by these numbers, but already in the ARRL June VH contest, the logs received already are 1,247 logs have been submitted.
Wow.
Which kind of really opened my eyes there. I was surprised to see that number.
Well, that's worldwide, though, but mostly North America, right? U.S. and Canada?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, you got to the 22nd. Today's the 14th, and it looks like everything was it was done on the 12th. Yeah, a lot of U.S., a fair number of U.S., obviously. It's a U.S. thing, but yeah, not too much DX in yet other than Canada.
Yeah. Okay. So there's 1,200 already logs submitted. So that'd be interesting to see where we fall in our categories, and yeah, I'm excited to see what the tally is.
Yeah, me as well, for sure. Yeah, well, with all the different categories. So it's not like we're competing against 1,247 people for top spot. It breaks all down into the different regions and stuff and different categories. So Yeah, it's kind of neat. Yeah, we'll see. I'm kind of really curious to see. But like Chris was saying, it's probably going to take a while. Well, the logs aren't due for another week and a day, and then they got to run through all the numbers. And yeah, it could be a while yet. But oh well, who knows? This time next year, I could find some certificates for us.
Yep, exactly. That was funny, eh? A week before or whatever, the same week that this year's contest is when you found out. That's funny. Okay, so I got a question. Field day. What do you have planned for field day there, my friend?
I'm not too sure, to tell you the truth. I haven't really thought of it too much. But Monday's Canada. That following Monday's Canada Day, right? The first.
Yeah.
So when's the weekend? Oh, Canada Day weekend's the weekend before the 20. Or being Field Day, right? 24th, 25th.
Yep.
And then I'm looking at June. Hang on, I'm sorry.
We are in June.
No.
We are in June.
Oh God, I'm way out of touch here. Anyway, my calendar just messed up on me here. Okay. The 24th and 25th is Field Day, right?
Yeah, we are in June already, in the middle of June. Can you believe it? And yeah, the 24th, 25th is the field day weekend. And of course, a week later is Canada Day. So yeah, there'll be a couple of busy weeks.
Yeah, well, I'm going to try to get out and activate the Great Trail for Canada Day. Now, it's going to be interesting to see how many people get out there and activate that park right across Canada. That spotting page, that POTA spotting page, should just be booked. It'd be great if we can get the new record for the number of times the park was activated in one day. That's the goal, anyway, is to clobber that number hard. And with that trail being right across Canada, it shouldn't be too hard to achieve if people get out there and do it. So I know a lot of the locals around here will be doing it. As far as right across Canada, I'm not too sure. Have to talk to Mr. Mudd out there in Saskatchewan. He's kind of the one that started the whole ball of wax rolling. So.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. Then you going to stick around, or are you going to take off?
Yeah, I'll be sticking around, listening along. I'll be here. I got your back.
Okay, Trudeau. We'll be there for you. Oh God, good thing. Oh, I should put a seatbelt on this chair. I'm gonna fall off. That's hilarious. Okay, well, let's go and find out what the other Kevin will be doing there. VA3 November Echo. Kevin, come on in.
Yeah, good evening, Chuck. The other Kevin. It was nice hearing Deb in there. She was a nice full scale on my radio here tonight. Sounded good there. Good evening to everybody. Yeah, was it last week, that contest? Yeah, I only made contacts the first day, and I didn't even put in a log. I never do. I just go. I'm lazy. I didn't even log. I know I talked to you, Kevin, Chris, a couple other guys. I think one guy in Oakville and that. But that's all I do. I just give out points for that contest. I know I sent you a picture of that big beam. That was a hint. Do you want to borrow it? Hey, but then you'd have to put that up and play around. Then you'd have to give it back or buy it off me, one or the thing. I've had that beam for years, believe it or not, probably 12, 13 years. And I used it more on FRS before I was a ham than I do on ham. I did have it up on a short pole, only about 20 feet high, 22 feet high with the rotator. I got the rotor finally hooked up and everything, but the reason why I put it up for was the sideband, the Sunday night sideband net, but unfortunately it's a Cushcraft FM beam. You think it would work on sideband? What's the big deal, FM sideband? But I don't know. It worked better off the side on sideband, so yes, something wrong there. The spacing between the elements. But yeah, you ever want to borrow that, Chuck, for a contest or that? I think you got a quick release where you can bring your pole down to that. Put that up there on your rotor. 11 element, 70 centimeter beam. I wonder what you'd hit our pad with. I think I used to hit them at 30 S units when I only had on a 20-foot pole and roughly pointed at them. But yeah, you ever want to borrow it or buy it? You can always make a deal on that. It's been sitting in the corner for years, and it's been sitting down. The thing's 12 years old, but it looks new. It still has a sticker, still shiny and new. And I've had it on the analyzer across the whole 440 band. It's you'll never see a match more than a 1.3. It's a good match. 11 element beams are good and broadband and good. But what else was I going to say? Yeah, I had my first fill activation down at the Scourge in Confederation Park today. The bands weren't the greatest, but I still had fun. I only made 4 HF contacts, 1 on 40, 3 on 20 with 10 watts. And then I went on Zoe and heard Vanya and worked him on this frequency, 146430, because that's what he had in the radio. He was close by. Oh, my radio's beeping. But yeah, first failed activation today. Only five contacts I made for the 2 parts. But I don't consider it a fail. I still got out and had fun, and it's 5 more closer to the 1,000. Yeah, many more to go there. But yeah, that Mr. Mud Contest Canada Day. Yeah, I wonder where I could go that day along the trail. Well, there'll be a whole bunch of us. That'd be fun. I don't know if I want to go down to Pier 4 and work the pier. I'd like to get up on the mountain there. Maybe Kevin could give me feedback on his next run or something there. But anyhow, yeah, I timed out. Did you hear it beeping there a minute ago? You know me, always long-winded. But that's it, and then you can move along to the next guy. I said a mouthful. Thanks for letting me in there, guys. VA3NE, I'll be around for the next round.
Yeah, no problem, Kevin. No problem there. You say what you got to say, but the radio has to sometimes talk back to you and let you know, give it a break. But yeah, no, I was actually listening to the radio and I overheard Pierre saying he had a failed contact. I don't know when. So now you're mentioning yours. So yeah, it happens, eh? It happens. You don't if you don't pick the right day to go out, or maybe it's the park. Who knows, right?
Wait, Chuck,
Yeah. Go ahead.
you have a few viewers on YouTube saying hello. One's from the United States.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, let's do that then. And we already said hello to North End Richard. And now we have Mr. White coming in to say hi. VA3 IMW greetings from Dayton 7-3s. Hello, Mac. Hopefully your trip there was quick and easy across the border. And you can tell us all about it. And yeah, Debbie or was it Debbie? Somebody had a question asking if you were bringing a radio with you to activate a park. And so if you're still listening, let us know if you did bring your gear for that. And yeah, very good. And we have Wade. Wade is on his way home from repairing his car, I do believe, in the, what was it, the Four Corners or something. So he'll check in on the RF during the second half after the halftime show. There we go. Thank you, KKP, for that. Alrighty then. So let's do another shout out and see if there's anyone else out there wishing to join us here on the Amateur Radio Exchange Group. This is VA3 CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
V3RWJ.
All right, I hear VE3RWJ. Chris, come on in from Ancaster.
Yeah, hello, Chuck. Sounding good as always. Thanks for doing the net. And thanks to everyone listening who gave me contacts during the weekend. I did really well in the contest, better than I thought I was going to do. I was running less power and one less bands this time. I was just doing 2 meters and 70 centimeters. And I still did really well. So thanks to everybody for that. It was a lot of fun. Not much else new here, really. Did want to mention, if Flynn is still there, your S8 out here in Ancaster. So that new antenna is really working. Get it up another 10 feet and look out. Back to you, Chuck, the 3RWJ.
Yes, absolutely there, Chris. I also thanked, as many people as I could that helped us out. You know what? I got 5 times the final score, than I did last year. So I did much better. Had way more contacts. I know KKP said he had way more contacts this year as well. And so I think a few people did quite well there, Chris. And let's see if Flynn, are you there? Did you copy Chris's comment?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much there, Chris. Thank you. Yeah, it's been working quite well, so I'll get it up another little bit, but in due time, just a little bit at a time. But anyways, thanks, Chuck. I'll let you get back to the net.
Yep, absolutely there, Flynn. You got to start somewhere, right? So there you go. Okay, Chris. Field day. Do you have any? Are you going to participate in field day?
Yeah, I'm hoping to. There are, I think, going to be 8 stations up at Rattlesnake Point as part of the Burlington Club entry. And almost all of us are staying over, so it should be a lot of fun. Campfire should be fun. And what happens at field day stays at field day, something like that.
Yeah, yep, absolutely. Would you look at that? 8:45, still daylight outside. Yep, sun goes down around 9 p.m. tonight, I think. So yeah, campfires are always a big hit with everyone, and so yeah, you gotta love it. All right, Chris. Well, thanks for checking in, sir. I did it again. I tried to listen to you on my 2-meter rig and did not hear you for the net. So I should have read that post you put on Facebook AREG page there, and so now I got the info. We'll put that in, and next week we'll give you a check in. Thanks for taking the time out and dropping by, Chris. Anything else?
Nope, other than just a reminder that, yeah, the Burlington net is just UHF now, because our 2-meter repeater is doing All-Star and Echolink. Of course, it's still a local repeater, too, if it's not connected to anything. It just works as normal, but so the Trans-Canada net and some other things throughout the week are on the 2-meter machine now. Thanks, Chuck. I'm going to go check out the YouTube stream, the 3RWJ.
Okay, very good. For those of you listening and would like to join us on YouTube, just put in my call sign in the YouTube search box, and that's VA3CJZ, and look for us live tonight. Or if you want to look for the title, it's called AREG Week 1552. And there's 2 of them there. The first one, we had audio issues. And so the second one is not marked part 2, but that's the active one. So join us there and say hello. And with that, let's see if anyone else would like to check in with us here. In East Hamilton, this is VA3CJZ with the longest running Simplex Net in the Golden Horseshoe. VA3CJZ looking for check-ins. All right, nothing heard. Let's go back to the top of the list. Say hello to Rick, BK, VE3, Bravo Kilowatt. Got any announcements for us there, Rick?
Okay, there we go. Good evening there, Chuck, and everybody on. And I want to say Flynn is coming in here 9S units. So good signal on Flynn here. I'm not sure where he is, but good signal for sure. And no, somebody else has mentioned the Steeltown Treasures. That's good. That's in Grimsby at the St. Joseph's Church. So that's about the only thing. And yeah. Anyway, too bad I didn't have more time. I could have gave you more context on the weekend there, Chuck. But at least you heard me. You heard me, and
Yeah.
I'm not sure that antenna's working too well on the mobile. But you did hear me anyway, so that's the main thing. And I could hear you just fine. I had no signal on you, but I could hear you just fine. So how much power were you putting out there, Chuck? Over?
Full power, 50 watts. And you were coming in at like an S1. So there was something going on there.
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, I got to check that antenna. But it could have been where I was, too, because I was actually parked. I was actually parked in front of a building, so that maybe have something to do with it. But you were coming in better and you could hear me. But I was putting out about 30 watts, so that's about it. Okay, anyway, back to net, and yeah, I'm listening a lot. So we're waiting for that day, that those announcements you do with this day in history. I enjoy that, Chuck. So back to you, VA3CJZ, V3BCAT.
All right, very good. Well, I'll give you a little teaser before I go down the list here. On this day, in 1946, Donald Trump was born. He turns 77 today. All right, so there we go. There's your little teaser. And so we'll quickly run down the list for a second round. After Rick here is George, if he's still there. VE3GBD, you still there? All right, well, let's send it back to Flynn here. VE3FJJ. Can you hear everyone so far, Flynn?
Yes, Chuck, I can hear pretty much everyone. Thank you, everyone, for acknowledging me and giving me great reports on this antenna. Yeah, very impressed. So I've done something correct, but yeah, I'll get it up a little bit more and give it all she's got.
9 plus 20 in my backyard.
Well, neighbors don't count for a radio check. So George said he could not hear you. Could you hear George, Flynn?
Yeah, I can hear George, no problem at all.
All right, I think he's using a handy talkie over there, so he still hasn't got his rig fixed yet. So I don't know. I just guessing, but all right. So what's you got any plans? Anything you'd like to share?
I was gonna get another radio just for parks. That was my original plan, but this came about, so I grabbed this. But I can still do POTA from here and do hunting, but one step at a time. I have another antenna, a bigger one. It's 65 feet long, but unfortunately I don't have the room. But maybe we'll work it out. But I'm gonna probably pick up a Pack 12 and use that for the time being for HF.
Yeah, those pesky long wire antennas, they need a lot of room. So those Pack 12s, keep hearing really good things about it. I'm going to have to check it out a little further online there and research it a bit more. But very good then. Thanks for sharing that, Flynn. So anything else before we go down the list?
No, go ahead. Yeah, I'll be here for third round. So see you on the other side.
All right. Well, before we continue on down the list, are there any other check-ins for this evening's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? AREG, please come now. Uh-oh. Okay, I may need a relay. I heard a station break in there, but you want to try that again?
There was a station there trying to check into the net. You want to come back with your call sign, V3KKP.
I got him there, Kevin.
Oh, I heard him the first time, but not the second. You heard him the second, not the first.
Yeah, it's Vern out in Waterdown, probably out on his walk, and so let's bring him in. VA3 Charlie Romeo Foxtrot.
Good evening, Chuck. Hope you can talk to me. As you mentioned, just out for a walk. Really nice evening. Sun's just gone down behind the horizon, so it'll start getting dark soon, but pretty nice out right now. I don't know what the temperature is. It feels like it's almost 20.
Actually, it is. It's 20 degrees even. About 10 minutes ago, it was at 20.6. Now it's at 20.0. So, yeah, still respectable.
Oh, yeah, that's good. No, that's good. And I don't think we got as much rain as they said we were going to get today, so that was a positive thing.
Yes, absolutely. We need Matt Hayes back in action because he never got the forecast right, and he kept his job for 20 some years. So yeah, I swear they have a dartboard at the back there that spins. Dart is what the weather's going to be for everyone. So let's see. Tomorrow, 22 with risk of thunderstorm. Friday, mix of sun and clouds, 23. 24 Saturday and full sun. Sunday, mix of sun and clouds. Monday, full sun and 24. So, yeah, looking good, looking good. We need more hours of sunlight, though, for tomorrow. They're only calling for 5 hours. Friday, 6 hours. And then Saturday, 14. Sunday, 7. And Monday, 13. So, yeah, we're getting there.
Exactly. I was listening along for a little while. I heard Chris mention that some of the Burlington guys are going up to Rattlesnake Point. Do you know of anyone else doing anything locally for Field Day next weekend?
Let's see now. All I know is there's a treasure in the trunk with the Hamilton Amateur Radio Club there, and the Burlington Rattlesnake thing. No, that's all I know about. You'll have to go online and research more, I guess.
Yeah, no problem. I'll check online. The Grimsby thing is this coming Saturday, right? And then I gather that Field Day stuff is the following weekend, 24th, 25th.
That's right. That's right. I haven't gotten to the contests yet, but yeah, next weekend, not this one, but next weekend is Field Day, and then the weekend after that is Canada Day. So there'll be a lot of radio activity coming up in the next couple of weeks.
Sounds good. Yeah, I like getting on the air when there's contact.
Yeah. Very good then, Vern. Well, thanks for taking the time out and checking in. You did find a good spot to come in. I didn't check the meter to give you a signal report, but as far as I'm concerned, as long as I can hear you, that's what matters.
Sounds good, Chuck. That's the main thing. I had a good copy on Chris as well. I was glad to provide him with a couple of contacts there the last weekend. I worked him on 2 and 70 centimeters. Just with a handy talkie, too. He was kind of surprised, but he had a good copy. Anyway, Chuck, I'm not sure if I'll be around for the second round, but I'll be listening for as long as I can. VA3 TRF, thanks for picking me up.
All right, yeah. Oh, and don't forget on Canada Day is the Great Canadian Trail Activation Event. Mac, thank you for that. And so on the Canada Day weekend, there's also going to be a big POTA, Great Canadian Trail Activation happening. So if you can get out onto the Great Canadian Trail and activate it, we're hoping to break a record of however many people.
Yeah, that sounds good. If Mac and others just want to mention on the ZOE repeater some of the details, I'll see what I can do.
Yep, absolutely. I think Mac is out of range right now from the ZOE repeater. He's 648 kilometers away, roughly, give or take. in Dayton, Ohio. So good evening, Mac, and thanks for joining us on YouTube and helping us with uh, remembering some things. And Deb, if you're not watching the stream, Mac also says no radio equipment with this trip. It's all business. Yeah, I kind of figured. I mentioned earlier there that it was a major purchase or investment, and it's going to be mostly business, I think. So, okay, very good then. Uh, Vern Max says he's got a good copy on you on YouTube.
Okay, he better not be able to copy me on direct.
Yeah, no kidding. Well, he's got no radio, so it's all phone. So very good then. All right, Vern, anything else for us?
No, that's it for now, Chuck. Thanks for picking me up. And as I said, I'll listen along for as long as I can. Not sure if I'll be around for this.
All right, very good. Okay, so we're getting close to the 9 o'clock hour. Let's go back to the list and see if Rick VA3AXJ is still there.
Yeah, I'm hanging in here, Chuck. Yeah, I don't know where Flynn is, but I got him out of the Nest 4. And I'm on the handy talk. I'm on the portable. And his modulation is really good. Really strong. Good. But I don't know where he's located at.
Yeah, apparently it's a big secret, but he's close to KKP. So if you go to QRZ and you look up where KKP is on the QRZ map, Flynn is within a few blocks, I think, of there.
Yeah, Rajo. Yeah. I don't even know if he can even hear me. But anyhow, yeah, I'm just laying down watching the boob tube. Mr. Donald Dump. And his all his charges and all this other crap that goes with it. Funny stuff to watch. Anyhow, and I'm waiting for on this day. That way. I think that's the best part of the whole deal here, other than talking to everybody else. But yeah, I'll be here for a bit. Back to you.
Okay, Rick. Very good then. Oh, there's my assistant.
Mostly sunny skies. Tonight, you can look for just a few clouds in the sky with a low of 10 degrees.
There you go. That's telling me that the sun is now officially set. It is 9 p.m. All right, so let's ask Flynn if he can hear you, Rick. VE3FJJ, can you hear VA3AXJ?
AXJ? Rick? Yeah, I did hear him earlier, but I can't hear him right now. It's like all static if he's out there talking.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so he can't hear you there, Rick.
Oh well, that's right. I'm on the portable, so okay, I gotta shut my face and then I'll be listening.
All right, very good. We're gonna get to on this day right quick, but first let's go to VA3OYL. Deb, you still there?
Yes, I am. I'm wondering if anyone knows what kind of QRP rig BMO Mr. Poda has, or if anyone else has a QRP rig, and what rig do they have and how do they like it?
Okay. Well, my neighbor has, he might know what BMO has or KKP. Does anyone know the answer to that question? No, nobody knows what the little brick radio that BMO uses.
Yeah, sorry, I keyed the wrong mic there, Chuck. I was talking in the mic of the radio that was off. I got two potato head ICOM mics. But yeah, I got the RS 918, the little QRP radio. But lately, Pierre's been running an ICOM 7300 in his portable.
Yeah. But do you know the model number of his little radio?
The one we call the brick. I'm not sure it really has a number. It's just a QRP SDR radio. They usually go for about $177. They come with a built-in battery, and the battery actually lasts a long time. But the other QRP radio I also have, like it's a little more expensive. It's around $500, give or take 20 or 30 bucks. I got the one with the built-in battery, and yeah, it works great. It puts out 15 watts if you hook it up to a power supply. It's got a really good scope and everything on it, so I like it.
Okay, what's the model number of yours again, Kevin?
Yeah, that $500 one is an RS 918.
There you go, Deb, an RS 918, and they vary in price, like you said, from bottom of the barrel there, $180 to probably $1,000 and up, just like regular rigs. But those QRP radios, they're SDR radios, right? And they work pretty good.
Yeah, some of those little cheap little ones, $100 ones, whatever. Some people like them, some people don't. But I guess depends on what they're looking for in a radio. If you're looking for something in that price range, I mean, you can't be looking for very much.
Yeah. The bottom of the barrel prices usually don't have any bell or whistles. It just does, the basic radio work. So yeah, well, there you go. Shop online. Be sure to read people's reviews. I know I do on Amazon for everything I buy, pretty much, unless I already know what I'm getting. I read reviews on things that I've never had before, and I go with that. So good luck shopping for that, there, Deb. Anything else?
Yeah, I'll have to check YouTube out. Sometimes they compare the radios and tell the good
Yeah.
features and bad features. And anyway, no, that's it. I'll be listening along. VA3OYL.
All right, very good then. So yes, do not forget YouTube University, as Arpad likes to say. They do review products on there quite a bit, and you'll find what you're looking for. I have no doubt. Whatever it is you're looking for, it's there. So, okay, we'll clear with VA3OYL. And are there any other check-ins for tonight's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is Victor Alpha 3, Charlie Juliet Zulu. Anyone, anywhere, please come now. All right, as I mentioned before, we're going to do on this day. This is week 120 consecutive weeks that I've done this on this day, and we're going to start with birthdays. As I mentioned earlier, it was Trump's birthday today, 77 years old. But let's go back in time, as far back as I found necessary to go. And a couple of interesting people to start off with. They are associated with medicine. First, birthday is someone called Alois, Alois, Alois Alzheimer. That sounds familiar, doesn't it? Well, he was born on this day in 1864. He was a German psychiatrist and neuropathologist, and he's the father of the Alzheimer. He found the Alzheimer's disease, and he was born in Bavaria, Germany. Next, we've got Karl Landsteiner. He was born in 1868, just 4 years after Alzheimer, and he is an Austrian immunologist and pathologist as well, and he won the Nobel Prize in 1930 for the discovery of different blood groups. So we all have different blood groups thanks to this gentleman. He was born in Hungary. So there you go. All right, next we've got the pioneer for radar. Born on this day in 1903 is Arthur MacDonald. He's a Royal Air Force officer and radar pioneer, born in South Africa, and he passed away in 1996. Let's jump to 1909. Celebrating a birthday in heaven is Burl Ives. Now, Burl Ives is most famously known for being the snowman on Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer cartoon every Christmas. I listen to him once a year, every year, for the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer story. So he was born in Illinois and passed away in 1995. Burl Ives. Next, we have Che Guevara. He was an Argentine Marxist revolutionary, part of the Cuban Revolution. He was born on this day in 1928, passed away in 1967. Born in Argentina. Now, this name might sound familiar to some of you. The next gentleman with a birthday is Joe Arpaio. Born on this day, 1932. He's the American former hard-nosed sheriff of Maricopa County in the U.S. He was in the news there near the end, very, very old school. And of course, next is Donald Trump. I already mentioned him. Okay. 1948, celebrating a birthday, is Steve Hunter today. Steve Hunter is an American rock session guitarist, playing for Lou Reed, Peter Gabriel, and Alice Cooper. He was born in Illinois. These session musicians, a lot of people don't know about this, but they help out on albums with better performances than the actual band members. So that's why they do that, but they're very unknown. All right, next is a gentleman I didn't know was around my age, but Boy George turns 62 today. He's British and born in 1961. Karma chameleon. That's all I'm going to say. And we're going to end the birthdays with Boy George. All right, I guess we'll do the deaths, and then we'll go back to checking to see if there's any more check-ins. People have passed away on this day, famous people. We'll start with Benedict Arnold. He passed away on this day in 1801, and he's listed here as an American general and turncoat in the American Revolutionary War. He dies of delirium in London at the age of 60. So he's born in 1741, died in 1801 of delirium. All right, next we have the gentleman who laid out Washington, D.C. Now, if you don't know, Washington, D.C. has been rumored to have been laid out by Freemasons because of its unusual design of the city. This next gentleman is called Pierre Charles L'Enfant. So he's a French-born American architect who laid out Washington, D.C., passed away in 1825 at the age of 70. Next, we have the man they called the Stanley Cup after, Sir Frederick Stanley, born on this day in passed away on this day in 1908. He was born, it doesn't say. He was 67 years old when he passed away, so do the math. Frederick Stanley passed away in 1908, but he was a British politician. He was Governor General of Canada from 1888 to 1893, and he gave Canada hockey's Stanley Cup. Next, we have a gentleman that passed away on this day in 1932. His name is Dorimen Roy Desjardins, a Canadian business pioneer who founded what became the Desjardins Group. I'm sure most of you have heard of that name at one time or another. So he's basically a banker, because I think the Desjardins Group is a credit union. Anyways, he dies at the age of 73. Next, we have the person who fathered the father of television, actually, John Baird, Baird, born in 1888, passed away on this day, 1946. He is listed as a Scottish inventor and father of the television. Dies of a stroke at the age of 57. Now, here's something I didn't know. Alan Reed passed away on this day, 1977, and he's listed here as an American actor for the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's, and he's the voice of Fred Flintstone, and he was in Lady and the Tramp. I thought it was the other guy who did Fred Flintstone, but very good. He dies at the age of 69 in the year 1977. Next, we got Henry Mancini, passed away in 1994 on this day. American Grammy and Academy Award winning film and television composer. Again, Breakfast at Tiffany's, Peter Gunn, Pink Panther films. He was an arranger and conductor, and he died of pancreatic cancer at the age of 70. Next, we'll finish off the deaths on this day of famous people with Hamilton's own Bernie Filoni, passed away on this day in 1999. American-Canadian professional football player with the Hamilton Tiger Cats, dies at the age of 66. Any questions or comments about these birthdays and deaths, or any new check-ins? Please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Lima, Bravo, India.
Victor Echo 3, November Whiskey.
Okay, I hear VE3LBI and VE3 November Whiskey. Let's go with Larry, VE3LBI, VA3CJZ.
Yep, evening all. Just a quick check-in for you, Chuck, and I'll let you carry on. I'm going to listen along.
All right. Question of the night is field day. Do you plan on going out or staying in or participating at all?
Presently, I'll probably do some hunting.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's next weekend, not this one. I still haven't done the contests yet, but anyways, yeah, that's next weekend for field day. Okay, Larry, that was all. That was the question of the night there. All right, let's go to RPAD, VE3 November Whiskey.
Hello, Chuck. Good evening to you and everybody else on the net. This is Victor Echo 3 November Whiskey, RPAD from Hamilton. And just checking in quickly. And I just came home, actually, and I was out in the mobile. Forgot to take my handheld with me. So that's why I couldn't check in earlier. But you sounding good, and good luck with the net. Back to you, Chuck.
Okay, RPAD, thank you very much for checking in as well. If you go to YouTube, you can see there's lots of interaction. Mr. Mac is in Dayton there, and he's been exchanging messages on the chat. So anyone wishing to join us on YouTube, please type in VA3CJZ in the YouTube search, and you can find us live there this evening. And so Max says it was a long drive, and they stopped in Ann Arbor to pick up the last of their group. Probably the guy who signs the check. And the cheapest one. Didn't have a car. All right. Anyways. Okay, RPAD. Well, thank you very much, sir. Anything else?
Yeah, not much more. I hope they're going to stop at the Air Force Museum there. And big museum. I think that's the biggest in United States, in Dayton. And they have lots of history there. Wright brothers, they were flying in that field at the first time. And they have all kind of planes. If you guys ever go to Dayton to the Hamfest, book an extra couple of days to go to the this museum. And you know what's the funny thing, Chuck? I was there once. I went to the Dayton flea market, and I spent another 3 days just to hang out at the at this museum. It takes you about, if you want to go like detail by detail, you want to take a look at everything. It takes about 2-3 days at least to go through the whole museum. And they even added a section to it. They have the Air Force One airplane in the museum as well. And now they have a new section with the rockets. All those rockets which went up to the moon, whatever, and some kind of rockets like that. I don't know too much about that, but the most interesting was for me the SR-71 and the what's the other one? The B-2 bomber. Cost $2 billion. I should broke off a piece of it and try to sell it at the black market.
Yeah, that reminds me back in my carnival days in the 80s, we played a fair in Mobile, Alabama, and they had an F-16 jet on display there on the fairgrounds, and there was an armed military guard guarding the plane 24 hours a day. And of course, after work, a bunch of us got drunk and and did mushrooms, and I decided I was going to try and get into the cockpit, and I almost lost my life over that. So well, very interesting. Yeah, the Wright Brothers Airfield, is that what it is?
Yeah. The whole that's a big base, but it's a big air. It's a transport. Basically, all the items what they're shipping down to, for example, right now, like in Iraq and whatever they went to Afghanistan, everything was shipped basically from there, from Dayton. And they have these C-17, those cargo big planes, the Global Masters, whatever they call them.
Yeah.
And they're flying from there most of the time. And everything is, you can't see too much. You see a few hangars and whatnot, but everything is apparently on the ground. And they have the train comes into on the ground, and they're offloading them, loading them up inside the planes and whatnot. And you can't see nothing because everything is inside the hangars. So quite big operation, and it's all connected everywhere apparently. That's what I heard, some rumors, but we're never going to see that part. But the museum is quite interesting, and the best part, what I like. In the United States, you never have to pay any ticket into any government museums. So, for example, you can go to any military bases in the United States, and the museum is always free. You don't have to pay. They don't require to pay you donations, nothing. And if you ever go down to south of New York, Langley, there's a beautiful museum for spies, a spy museum. How do they call that place? I forgot the name of it. Not CSIS. That CSIS is Canadian, but the U.S. has the. I forgot the name of it, but they have the museum there. So that's a quite interesting one. That takes about probably a day to go through and ask some questions and stuff like that. NSA, yeah, that's right. NSA Museum, National Security Service.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought Langley was the CIA, home of the CIA.
Well, I don't know. They are at the same place then. That's where they. I was coming back. I went to Dayton. I was going to go down to Florida for a holiday, but it was so warm. I said, I'm not going to go down to Florida in the middle of summer, right? So I just went east, down to the ocean, spent a few days down there, and on the way back, a big sign says on the highway, NSA Museum. So I went in, blah, 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 and no charges. That's what I love. You can go to any museum, and if it's because I asked them actually, how come we have to pay in Canada and in the United States you don't have to pay for it? And their answer was, you already paid for it as a taxpayer.
Exactly. I mean, if the government runs it, that means it's all of Canada that owns it. You know what I mean? Like, I agree. It should be free for us. We've already paid for it. He's right.
Well, what here in Canada is different a little bit because you go up to the parks, right? And you always have to pay to get in. You own that park, by the way. So my question is like, if I own my toilet in my home, why do I'm going to go use the toilet? Why do I have to pay for that?
Yep. I hear you. I agree. Okay, Arpad, we're gonna keep the net rolling here. If you do, you have anything else for us?
No, Chuck. I got a few things to do, so I'm going to say 73, and you guys have a good night.
All right, thanks, Arpad, for your check-in and telling us about the base there in Dayton for the Wright Brothers Airfield, I think, or the museum. Yeah, some things takes a long, like the CNE. You can't do the CNE in one day because you can't see everything that's there. You know what I mean? The entire CNE grounds is massive. It's huge for one thing, from one end to the other, and there are all kinds of buildings and all kinds of stuff to see there. So it takes a few days to actually. And if you do as much as you can in one day, let me tell you, you sleep good on that night by the time you get home, because a lot of walking, lots of walking. Okay, well, thank you very much, Arpad. And so, do we have anyone else out there wishing to join us and would like to be check-in number 16 tonight for the AREG Net, the Amateur Radio Exchange Group? This is VA3 CJZ looking for check-ins.
Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform.
Hey, there he is, Tomas, Victor Echo 3, Charlie Echo Uniform. Come on in, Tom. You're sounding good.
Good evening, Chuck. Everybody else on the net. I almost forgot about the net. I just had a walk with my wife around the block here. And, yeah, it was a nice day today. Yeah, your signal's put an F9 at this end here.
All right. You're doing almost the same over here at the Center Mall. I got you at an S8, Tom. Very good. Clear audio there. No problemo.
Yeah, so just turn the radio on, like I say, and yeah, it's nice to get on. I'm on the A2FT70D, the 5-watt handheld here.
Oh, geez, eh? That's a good trip then from across the pond, as they say. Me being located by the Center Mall there, we're fairly close to the water, but not quite on the edge to be able to bounce signals off a little bit better. But nonetheless, we're making a really good trip to one another there, Tom. So how's work? How's everything? You got any training to do or new buses coming in?
No, training's all done for the year. We got all our drivers for now, and yeah, it's got a sign up coming up for the summertime here. So yeah, electric buses still aren't running yet. Hopefully they'll be running by September, and I'm looking forward to getting trained on one of those things for sure. Yeah, I'm on the second floor here on my condo. I'm on the same level I am when I'm on Arpad's net and the Simplex, the other one on the sideband net. So yeah, I'm pretty much just centered at the same location every time I'm on.
Yeah, very good. Well, 2 meters seems to usually work better than 70 centimeters. I've noticed anyway. So signals are always stronger on 2 meters than 70 centimeters there, Tom. So yeah, no problem communicating on 2 meters. That's for sure. All right. Well, thanks for taking the time out and checking in with us, Tom. You're check-in number 17 tonight, so pretty good turnout. We've got a lot of people on the YouTube stream as well, and as well as people that have checked in. So I want to say thanks to everybody for listening to us on the YouTube stream and as well as making good use of it. Just put in VA3 CJZ in the YouTube search, and you can find us live there tonight. Okay, Tom. Anything else before we carry on?
Nothing else there, Chuck. I'll let you carry on, and I'll be listening along. VE3, see you.
All right, very good. Well, everybody's anticipating the on this day events. We'll be going to that here right quick. But first, are there any other check-ins for tonight's Amateur Radio Exchange Group, AREG? This is VA3 CJZ. Anyone, anywhere, please come now.
VA3NCA.
Hey, there he is at the second half, just like just like you said. Hey, come on in, Wade.
All right, yeah, good evening, Chuck. Good evening, all on net. Yeah, a little later than second half, maybe second 3/4, but, better late than never, I suppose. Yeah, after 2 trips out to Empire Corners, we finally got the right rotors and pads onto the right car, and so yeah, the car's doing a lot better now. Yeah, so always nice to go out there and see. He's a buddy of mine that I met a while back, and haven't seen him lately, but he has a garage he's built up in his like an auto garage in a garage that he built beside his house. He's got a lift and all the tools, so I tend to bring my car to him to get it fixed. And when he picked up the parts for my car, the person at the auto parts place had pulled the wrong size rotors, and he found that out yesterday when I made my first visit. So got it all straightened out, and the car's running much better. So, anyways, other than that, yeah, don't really have much radio that I've done because been stuck at work, and the rest of the week is going to be the same. I got to be on campus tomorrow and Friday. So only good news is I get out a little early on Friday, so maybe I'll be able to eke some radio out. Anyways, I did see Wayne B on the chat ask about Canwarn, and yeah, they are having Canwarn. The info is on RAC's webpage. I'm just going to look at it or look for it. They had 2 sessions planned, and a third is just going to be a Q&A. I think that the Q&A is in July, and I think that the second Canwarn class, or whatever it's called, is the second half of June. So it must be coming up next week or the week after. But I'll find that out on the RAC webpage if other people are listening and don't find it. Oh, I see Wayne says that he just did it tonight. Okay, so it must have been the second one. How'd you like it there, Wayne? Anyways, with that, Chuck, I'll send it back to you. I think my radio is about to time out and pull a Mac on me, so I'll send it back to you via 3NCA.
Okay, very good there, Wade. And I would like to acknowledge, I haven't acknowledged Wayne B yet. So welcome to our net on YouTube, on the YouTube stream there, Wayne, VA3FMB. And I have you down in my log as well. So Wade, you were already in the log, so I didn't add you. But what did I say we're at? 17? Yeah, 17 so far. So everyone is in the log. And quick question. This weekend is Treasures in the Trunk. Do you plan on going there? And next weekend is Field Day. Do you plan on going out, or will you be participating from home?
Well, I'd like to go out to the Treasures in the Trunk. not sure that I've got anything on my books to pick up, but it's always nice to get out and see what there is. Anyways, spent enough of my walking around money on brakes, so that hurts a bit, and I gotta gotta slow down on any other purchases. But I think I'll show up and see what's there. As for field day, I don't really have any plans. Maybe what I'll do is, at a minimum, I'll hunt. I'll definitely do that. Maybe I'll find some time to go out and activate. But what I'm really looking forward to is what other people have said there, the mass activation of the Great Trail on the July 1st. I will definitely find some place to park myself along the trail and participate in that event. That'll be a lot of fun.
Yep, absolutely. That's still a ways away, so I'm sure we'll talk about that next week as well on the AREG net, among other things. But very good then. Yeah, hopefully it won't be a washout that weekend, and people will be able to go out and activate. Some hardcore guys go out, rain or shine, but that's what it's all about. Adverse conditions. Making radio contact. Yep. Just think of those guys, World War II there with their radios laying on a beach getting shot at out in a ditch somewhere in a trench in mud up to their calves. So, yeah, adverse conditions for sure is nothing compared to that. But, anyways, Wade, thank you very much. And Wayne. And if you don't have anything else, we'll just continue on.
No, nothing else for now. I'll listen along as well for the duration, and I'll let you pick up a few more and get on to the other. I think you had contests coming up, so I'll let you get back to it, and I'll be listening along. Thanks, Chuck, for doing it. As always, VA3MCA, back to net control.
Yep, very good. Let's first see if there are any other check-ins for tonight's AREG net. This is VA3CJZ, and we're looking for anyone, anywhere with a valid license. Please come now. All right, so let's quickly go to the contests. And we'll start off with the All Asian DX contest for you CW folks. That is geographic focus is Asia, but the participation is worldwide, and that's CW on 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160 meters. Next, we have the SMIRK contest. That's SMIRK, SMIRK. Worldwide, CW and phone, but it's for 6 meters only. There's 2 6-meter contests. This is the first one, the SMIRK contest. Next, we have another contest. I do believe it's from India, but it doesn't say that. It's called the Pajajaran Bulgar DX contest, and that's for sideband for 10 meters, 15, 20, 40, and 80. That is a 2-day event starting Friday evening at 8 p.m. Next, we have the IARU Region 1 6-meter contest or 50 megahertz contest, and that's for sideband and CW. So 50 megahertz contest. And Stu Perry, Top Band Challenge. That's CW for the Gentleman's Band. And that band is 160 meters, also known as the Gentleman's Band. I just remembered that because I heard it the other day again. Next, we have the West Virginia QSO Party, and that'll be for 10, 15, 20, 40, and 80 meters. United States, West Virginia QSO Party. And then we have Kids Day this weekend, and that starts 1800 Zulu on June 17th until 2359 Zulu. So that'll be, 4 hours? Yeah. Or, sorry, 6 hours. So that's for sideband, and it's for kids. And it says here 2-meter repeaters 10 meter, or sorry, it says, yeah, repeaters, and then it says 2 meter, 10, 12, 15, 17, 20, 40, and 80. So if you hear any young voices out there, try to give them a hello this weekend. We will surely do that at this end. And then there's the Feld Hell. I don't know what that is, but that's on this weekend for 6 meters, 10, 15, 20, 40, 80, and 160. And then finally the WAB 50 megahertz again for phone sideband. So 6 meters this weekend from 0800 Zulu on June 18th to 1400 Zulu June 18th. And then we round things off with Debbie's favorite contest, and that's Run for the Bacon QRP contest, and that's for CW. So there you go. That wraps up contests for this coming weekend. And so for any more information, just type in contestcalendar, one word, .com, contestcalendar.com, and you can get all your information there. All right. So before we continue on with the events in history, do we have any other check-ins for this evening's Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Please come now. Okay, nothing heard. So let's go back to the events on this day. All right, so let's go all the way back to 1381. King Richard II in England meets leaders of the Peasants' Revolt. The Tower of London is stormed by rebels who enter without resistance. This is because of the poll tax, some new tax that the British invented. The poll tax triggers the Peasants' Revolt. So that's going to happen here too. The peasants of Canada are going to revolt if the taxes don't stop going up. Remember, people, if you don't learn from history, you're bound to repeat it. So there you go. Too bad we don't have the guillotine anymore. All right, next we have the year 1642. That's the very first compulsory education law in America is passed by the state of Massachusetts. So having to go to school being mandatory in Massachusetts here anyways. 1642. Some more American history here. 1775, on this day, the U.S. Army first forms as the Continental Army to fight American Revolutionary War. That's in 1775 on this day. And the Stars and Stripes are adopted on the flag on this day in 1777. The U.S. Continental Congress adopts the Stars and Stripes flag designed by Francis Hopkins, replacing the Grand Union flag. All right, Mutiny on the Bounty happened on this day in 1789. Captain William Bligh and his loyal men were cast off from the HMS Bounty to reach Timor after sailing 5,800 kilometers in a 6-meter launch. So that's a 20-foot boat. 5,800 kilometers. Wow. After being kicked off his own boat. Woo. All right. 1841 on this day is the first Canadian Parliament opens in Kingston, Ontario. Now, here's something a lot of you probably didn't know. In 1846, the California Republic proclaimed in Sonoma. That's the bear on the California flag. declaring independence from Mexico. A lot of you did not know this, but California and Texas used to belong to Mexico. And actually, yeah. All right. Everyone's heard of the Bunsen burner in high school? Well, Mr. Robert Bunsen invents the Bunsen burner on this day in 1847. Wow. And then we jump into 1917 in World War I, the first German attack on England. 100 plus are killed in East London. Let's jump to 1919. After the First World War, the first nonstop air crossing of the Atlantic by two pilots, Mr. Alcock and Mr. Brown. And that leaves Newfoundland to cross the Atlantic. U.S. President Warren G. Harding is the first U.S. president to use radio. And that's on this day in 1922. Speaking of radio, in 1924, radio station WOKO AM radio begins transmitting from Albany, New York. Albany is the capital of the state of New York. A lot of people think it's New York City, but it is not. It's Albany, just in case you didn't know. All right, let's go to Auschwitz, World War II now. 1940, Auschwitz concentration and extermination camp opens in Nazi-controlled Poland, with Polish POWs later expanded to include civilian Jews and Gypsies. Approximately 3 million would die within the walls of Auschwitz. All right, let's stay in World War II. And on this day, 1942, the first bazooka rocket gun is produced in Bridgeport, Connecticut. I remember seeing videos of bazookas in World War II. Staying in World War II, we have Anne Frank begins her diary in 1942 on this day. She's one of the famous Jews to hide successfully for a while, but she was later caught. And she wrote a diary. I believe that was in the Netherlands because they have a museum there, one of the tourist traps. All right. Well, if you were born before 1946, you did not have the luxury of having a library card in Canada. Because in 1946 on this day, Canadian Library Association is established. Are there any other check-ins for this evening's AREG? Questions or comments? Please come forward. All right. The very first commercial computer came out on this day in 1941. It was called the Univac 1. I think I vaguely remember that name. And it was used at the Census Bureau. So there you go. All right, let's go to 1953 on this day. Elvis Presley graduates from L.C. Humes High School in Memphis, Tennessee. So he would have been close to 18 in 1953, I imagine. All right, let's go to 1957. Edouard Carpentier beats Luthez to become the NWA wrestling champion. I remember watching Edouard Carpentier back when wrestling was in black and white, back in the 60s. Very athletic person. We all know that wrestling is scripted, but nonetheless, athleticism is required and injuries do happen. So don't try this at home. All right, here we go. In 1962, on this day, Albert DeSalvo. Doesn't sound familiar to me, but he, excuse me, he is better known as the Boston Strangler, and he murders Anna Slessers, his first victim. Television premiere in 1967 on this day, the Steve Allen Comedy Hour. Now, Steve Allen, I think, was responsible for the Dick Van Dyke Show and whole whack of TV shows back in the day, and he had his own comedy hour on this day, 1967. He started on CBS TV. Sticking with 1967, a British film, To Sir with Love, directed by James Clavell and starring Sidney Poitier, is first released in the U.S. I do believe that was the very first African American, I guess. Back then they called him the first black man to star in a major movie. And I do believe he won an award for that. Sticking with 1967, on this day, then California Governor Ronald Reagan signs the Therapeutic Abortion Act, legalizing abortions in the state under certain circumstances, the second state after Colorado to do so. So California is after Colorado to legalize abortions under certain circumstances. All right, so let's leave 1967 and go to 1968 on this day. Inagata de Vida, second studio album by Iron Butterfly, is released. I think it takes up the whole side of the album. Yeah, put that on and go on about your business. All right, let's jump to 1973 on this day. U.S. President Richard Nixon administration imposes 60-day economy-wide price freeze. Yeah, so, I overlapped here. Yeah, so I wish they would do that here in Canada, put a price freeze on rent, on mortgages, and on groceries and gas. It's insane right now. All right. On this day, 1976, The Gone Show premieres on TV. Syndication. Did you know that, what was his name? Chuck Barris. He was the guy. He claimed to be a spy for the CIA. Look it up. All right, let's go to 1988 on this day. A woman sues Chuck Berry for $5 million. Alleges he hit her. Poor fella. Chuck Berry got busted by the cops for having pot. Also for having, I think, child porn. Anyways, the things you don't know about your heroes growing up, eh? All right, well, let's jump ahead one year to 1989. Zsa Zsa Gabor is arrested for slapping a Beverly Hills motorcycle patrolman. Zsa Zsa. Shouldn't have done that. Okay, 2006 on this day, Ringo Starr's 9th all-star band debuts in concert, and members include Billy Squier, Richard Marx, Edgar Winter, Rod Argent, Hamish Stewart, and Sheila E. Nice band. All right, in 2013, the U.S. government charges NSA leaker Edward Snowden with violating the Espionage Act and theft of government property. All right, 2015, Jurassic World is the first film to make $500 million worldwide in its opening weekend. I think a few movies have passed that since 2015. I forget, probably that Avatar and a couple other movies. All right, 2018 on this day, the U.S. Justice Department concludes that FBI Director James Comey was insubordinate. in his handling of Hillary Clinton investigation in 2016. In other words, he got a slap on the wrist, and so did Hillary Clinton. Yada yada yada. All right. Oh, this is interesting. In 2019, a petition is made to create the world's first time-free zone on Somaroy Island, which has complete daylight for 2 months. And that petition is delivered to the Norwegian government. So this is in Norway. They have 2 months of daylight. Woo! I don't know if you guys ever remember watching this video, but I did. In 2021 on this day, Cristiano Ronaldo removes sponsors Coke bottles from his press table at the European Championships, prompting the company share price to drop by $4 billion. All he did was move the Coke bottles out of the way and put water bottles in their place, and boom, Coke takes a $4 billion hit. Wow, that's crazy. All right, we're almost there. We're almost there. 3 more to go. On this day in 2021, a heat wave event begins across western U.S. and Canadian states. What? With Denver at 101 degrees and Helena, that's in Washington State, 105. Wow. Okay. All right. So I'm going to skip this next one because I want to keep that to the end because I like something a little bit more cute, funny, or not so serious, let's say. Because this next one is in 2023, this year, fossil bones are found in Laos, that's Vietnam, and it's called the Cave of the Monkeys. Now, these bones are dated to be 86,000 years and are the oldest known examples of modern humans, Homo sapiens, in Southeast Asia. So there you go. The last one we have on our list was last year on this day in 2022. Denmark and Canada agree to split the Arctic Hans Island, ending their 50-year where each country laid claim by buying a bottle of whiskey or schnapps. I don't know if you've ever heard of that story, but that's how we disputed the island, was by exchanging schnapps and whiskey. So there you go. That wraps up on this day in history. I hope you all enjoyed it like I did researching it and telling it back to you guys. Are there any questions or comments, or anyone else who would like to check in? Please come now. VA3CJZ. All right, nothing heard. So let's go to the top of the list and do the 7-3 round real quick. VE3 Bravo Kilowatt.
Yeah, we'll say 7-3 to everybody on frequency. Yeah, enjoyed that, Chuck. So, yeah, good job. And back to net, VA3CJZ, V3BK.
Hey, Rick, you're an old fart. Do you remember Edouard Carpentier?
Say again?
The wrestler. Did you watch wrestling as a kid?
Negative.
Okay. All right, then that answers that. Okay, very good, Rick. Thanks for checking in with us, man. I appreciate it. Have a good rest of the evening. Let's see if Garbage George is out there. VE3 GBD. All right, let's try Flynn. VE3 FJJ. 7-3 round. All right, let's go to VA3 AXJ. Rick.
Yep, still here. Made it through the whole deal here. Holy smokes. First time in a long time. Yeah, not much more to say. I'm just waiting for my MRI next month on the 7th. Get my back straightened out. And that's it for now. Thanks for doing the net. And 7-3s, Chucky. We'll talk to you next week, hopefully.
Hopefully? What do you mean, hopefully? All right, Rick. Thanks for hanging around. And I appreciate you checking in with us, my friend. And you take care. Okay. Next person is. Where are we here? Debbie, VA3OYL.
Yes, I'm still here. Good net, Chuck. Thanks for all your research and all your information that you passed along. Hopefully, I won't still be in bed next week, but hopefully, I'll be sitting in my shack on the net. So I'll say 7-3 to all, and everyone, I hope you have a good week. VA3 OYL, be clear.
Okay, Deb. Well, thank you for joining us this week, and I do hope you feel much better very soon. And again, like I mentioned earlier on in the net, Garnett is in the hospital. So if you have his number in your phone, maybe send him a get well or something. Have him in your thoughts and prayers. Anyways, he's got COVID as well as COPD and other things going on. So we wish him a speedy recovery. Thank you, Debbie. We'll clear with VA3OYL. Next, let's see if KKP is around. He might be on ZOE, but VE3 KKP, are you there? He may be chatting with our next check-in, Victor Alpha 3, November Echo. Kevin, my neighbor, are you still there?
Yeah, sorry, I was talking on MSN or not MSN, Facebook there. Sitting on the porch, I had the crossband going for a while, but I shut it off there just a minute ago, and that's when you give me a show and I wanted to try the crossband, but I don't need it sitting on the porch to get across the street to you. It's just that now some people I don't hear though, where I was hearing them off the big radio. And I was crossband on 446-125 in case anyone was scrolling around and heard.
Oh, you were on 146?
No, I was crossband in 446-125 with your meter frequency here.
No, okay, yeah, right on. Well, like I mentioned, if you can't hear some people, you just you can always go to the YouTube stream. You can move the slider at the bottom, put it back to the beginning. You could put it in the middle, wherever you like, and whoever I can hear is broadcast here on the YouTube stream. Again, just put in my call, VA3CJZ in the YouTube search, and you can find us there. So, anyways, Kevin, thanks for hanging around. I do appreciate your check-in, and hopefully you enjoyed yourself as well. Thanks, buddy. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, no problem. And yeah, I talked to Garnet tonight, too, and he said to say hello. You might have talked to him as well. He's bored in the hospital. All right, VA3 any, I'll be listening.
Yep, absolutely. Okay. Let's see. This guy's not here. He's on YouTube. Wade is next. VA3 November Charlie Alpha. Any last words, Wade?
Oh, VA3 CJZ, VA3 NCA. Wow, you know this edition of our AREG just flew by for me. I don't know where the time went, but anyways, thanks for doing it as always, Chuck. Enjoyable time, and I'm glad I managed to get back in time to check in. Hope well wishes to Garnett too. Hope he's going to be comfortable soon and back on the air. So good thoughts and well wishes to him for sure. And I'll send it back to you, and I'll listen along for the wrap up. The A3NCA back to that control.
All right, very good, Wade. Thanks again, my friend. Good luck. 2 more sleeps until Friday, so back on campus. Next is North End Richard, but thanks, Richard, for checking in. Much appreciated. Next is Vern. Let's see if he's back inside the house or if he's still listening. VA3 CRF. Okay, well, that brings us to VE3 LBI. Larry.
Yeah, we're still here, Chuck. Listen along. Thanks very much for doing it, and I'll let you continue getting. I guess you got to put garbage out too, and it's shortly after 10.
Yes, sir. Garbage night for me. Thanks, Larry. Appreciate your check-in, my friend. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Let's go to Tomas in Burlington, VE3 Charlie Echo uniform. All right, nothing heard. Well, are there any questions, comments, any last-minute check-ins for this edition, week 1552 of the longest-running Simplex Net in the Hamilton area, the AREG, Amateur Radio Exchange Group? Are there any last-minute check-ins, questions, or comments? Please come now.
Victor Echo 3, Zulu Victor.
Hey, there he is. Victor Echo 3, Zulu Victor. Come on in, Steve. And how did you make out on the contest this weekend?
I found it a bit slow, but I did all right. I think my score was around 45,006 or something like that. So not my best, but probably not my worst. Anyway, I do appreciate everybody that managed to hear me on FM here. Not necessarily on this frequency, but on 5.2 for the contacts on 2 meter FM. That was great. That helped me quite a bit. And I've just got home from our local club meeting, so so I'm a little bit late, and I apologize for that. But anyway, I wanted to give you a check-in, Chuck. Victor Echo 3, Zulu Victor.
Okay, Steve, very good then. Well, thanks for thinking of us and giving us an extra check-in. You're number 18 tonight, so that's really good. So you're coming in at an S7, flickering S8. So good job from Waterford, and congratulations on that high score. It's way more than my capabilities can do. So hope you make out good in the contest once they release the information on who got what, where, when, and how. Okay, Steve, thanks again, my friend. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the week. VE3 Zulu Victor, VA3 CJZ. Anything else?
Nope, you said it all. I appreciate it, Chuck, and it's always a pleasure to hear your voice there, organizing everything. You do such a great job. 73, and we'll hopefully get you next Wednesday. Victor Echo 3, Zulu Victor over in EN92, just outside the village of Waterford. Have a great night, Chuck.
All right, thanks again, Steve. Anyone else out there waiting in the wings would like to check in with us for the AREG? Please come now. All right. Well, I'd like to thank everyone who joined us again this week. Everyone on the YouTube stream, we had quite the conversations going on. Many check-ins on the YouTube. We had Steel City Coach. We had North End Richard. We had Mac, KKP. We had Wayne and Wade. Both W's, even Arpad checked in there, and KKP. Very good. And everyone else who checked in with us through the radio, thank you so much. Makes me feel good knowing that there are people willing to listen to me. With that, I'll say 7-3 to all. Until next week, have a great rest of the week. Be safe. And we'll see you again next week. By the way, like I mentioned, with our last minute check in there, we got 18 check ins. Excellent. Thank you all. I now return the frequency back to regular amateur use. 73 all VA3 CJZ.